Hi everyone, my name is Gipint and welcome back to the channel, and today I bring you a video in how to do the bent arm press to handstand based in my experience. When I started calisthenics, in my opinion, this was one of the most impressive movements, and is the movement that you want to learn so bad because it's so cool to go to handstand without using a kick up, just with your power. And to be honest, it's not so hard as you might think. It's actually pretty easy. You just need a good base, and then with some months of training you can achieve it. The first thing that I would say to a person who wants to learn this movement is you need to have a good handstand, at least 20 seconds, and also a good base. You should be able to do some muscle ups and also 1 or 2 handstand push-ups with your back facing the wall. And if you can't do handstand, I will leave a mark here where you can see my video where I give you 5 tips to learn the handstand. The main muscle that you need to learn this movement is the shoulder, so the first progression will be pretty easy, that is the normal pike push-up. If you don't know how to do a pike push-up, I will also leave a mark here to you to see that video. One thing to keep in mind when doing the pike push-ups is to keep your elbows in, like this, and not out. And when the pike push-up starts to become too easy, you can put your feet in something elevated and do them. And these two exercises for a long time will be like your two best friends, because you need to do them in every workout to gain strength in your shoulder. So the next exercise will be the negatives with the wall, and it's a movement that will help you to gain more strength in your shoulder and also to understand a little bit of the movement. So you are here in the handstand and you do the push-up and start to tuck your legs and go like this to the floor. Let's do one more time. You are here, do the push-up, tuck your legs, and that's it, go to the floor. And the most important thing in this exercise is to do it controlled and slow. The next progression will be a pike push-up, but a harder variation where you lift up your legs off the ground. It's the same as the pike push-up, you just need to incline and do the push-up and try to put your strength and your weight in your shoulders to lift your legs, like this. And so after that super pike push-up, you can start do handstand push-ups in the wall, and you have two different variations. With your back facing the wall, it's a little bit easy. With your belly facing the wall, it's harder. So first you can start with your back facing the wall and then with your belly. And these two last progressions, the handstand push-ups in the wall and the pike pushes with your feet lifting off the ground, are very important, and if you can do them, I promise that you will just need the technique and also the balance to do the press to handstand. There is a lot of ways to do this press to handstand. I will start with the easier one, that is from a frog to handstand, and you also can do it in straddle. This is how I started, and I can remember one of my first presses was like this. You open your hands a little bit more wider than your shoulder width, then you do the frog position, and when you extend your legs, you also extend your arms like this. So let's do it, frog, and boom, handstand. You see, I used a lot of momentum, but it needs what you need to do in the first presses. You use your legs and also your arms, and you do everything at the same time. One more time, you are here and boom. simple, it's not so hard as you might think, just put a lot of practice in this. And that's the key. The key for the beginning is to use momentum. You use your legs, you use your arms all at the same time, and you push yourself up, push the floor, and go to handstands. And the first tries, just try to go to handstand. Don't try to balance the handstand, just try to gain strength and understand the movement. And then you have the other press that is like the most normal, that you go with your feet on the ground and you do the press, and it's the same concept. Try to use your legs and your arms at the same time. And one really important thing to keep in mind, and that is a mistake that I've seen a lot, that is when you are doing this press, your head needs to go a little bit in front of your hands, and if you don't put in front of your hands, it will be much harder also to balance. It will be something like this. If you are trying to put your head here, it won't be possible. Maybe it's possible, but it's not the good way. You need to do a triangle, like in the pike push-ups, with your head and with your hands. I will just do the bent arm part and break this movement. So the first part is this, like a pike push-up, but where you bend your legs. Is this. And then, when you do this, you bring your legs to your chest, and then your butt from this position goes to this, and then it's just extend your arms and legs at the same time. Let's do the first two steps. And then with the time you will be able to do it more slower and slower, and then also get that balance. That's why it's very important to you to have a solid handstand before starting to practice this. You don't need to have fear. If you know how to fall, you will be safe. And now the most common mistake that leads people to have fear of this movement, that is when you go down, you go too much down. This is more common in the parallels, because the parallels are higher, you can go even more down. They do this here, and then they stay here. And how it's possible to go from that to handstand? You are so down that you need to have a lot of power in your shoulders to be able to go down. I will do one more time. That is this. And then they stay here, they can't get out, and what happens is when they extend, they don't have power and they fall down, and it's really hard to do a save when you have your arms really bent. It's like impossible to save, and that's what you need to keep in mind. To do the press, you can't go too much down. Your arms almost don't bend. I will do it here. My arms will not pass the 90 degrees. If the arms go more than the 90 degrees, you don't have power to do this. It's like the rule. If you go too much down, it means that you don't have power, so you need to do the other progressions. And yeah, that's it. Try to have a good handstand at least 20 seconds before you try to do this press. Also a good shoulder strength. Do a lot of pike push-ups and elevated pike push-ups. That is like the base, the most important ones. And then after that you can start doing those negatives in the wall, also the wall handstand push-ups, and also the pike push-ups when you lift your feet off the ground. Always put your elbows in when you are doing the pike push-ups. That's really important. And when you are trying to do your first presses, do it with a lot of momentum and start with the frog position, where you go with your legs open and straight your arms at the same time as you straight your legs to give that momentum, and don't worry much more about the balance. And yeah, that's it. Work a lot your shoulders, that's the most important thing. Try to work on your shoulders 2-3 times per week. At the beginning maybe 2, and then when the time passes you can start working more in 3. And that's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below or send me a message to my Facebook or Instagram that will be in the description. Don't forget to leave your like, to subscribe, to share, and I see you in the next video.